Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association.
If you have a news topic or event you'd like to see covered, you can always give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show runs Tuesday at noon and is uploaded to our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page to watch on demand. Today is May 21st, 2019, and now the news at noon.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, 2 early morning burglaries in Sawpit and Placerville have the San Miguel County Sheriff's Office alerting the public to be on the lookout for the suspect, described as a stocky white man about 6 feet tall in his mid to late 30s with dark hair and a beard. The suspect is possibly driving a 2010 to 2015 white crew cab Dodge pickup truck, possibly a diesel with a loud exhaust, and the truck might have bullet holes in the rear of the vehicle, the sheriff's office said on its Facebook page. The 2 burglaries occurred between 1:35 and 1:55 a.m. Monday. The first occurred at Sawpit Mercantile, and the second occurred at soon after at Placerville M&M Mercantile, according to Jennifer Dinsmore, Public Information Officer with San Miguel County. The owner of the Placerville M&M Mercantile reportedly fired several shots at the fleeing vehicle, and at least one shot was believed to have hit the vehicle based on remnants left at the scene, Dinsmore said. The description of the suspect was obtained by owners of the Placerville M&M who live above the store, Dinsmore said. The owners heard noise and went downstairs when they encountered the suspect, she said. Dinsmore also said the second burglary in the past month at Sawpit Mercantile was at Sawpit Mercantile. Deputies are investigating a burglary at Sawpit Mercantile believed to have occurred between 11 p.m. and midnight on May 8th.
Industrial hemp in Colorado, photo by Jerry McBride with the Durango Herald. The year hemp made its debut in 2014 at the Four Corners Agricultural Expo in Cortez, about 25 people showed up to learn about the plant the state of Colorado had recently legalized. When the crop was featured this year at a talk during the annual exhibition, the number of interested people nearly tripled, said Scott Perez, one of the first hemp farmers in southwest Colorado. In the past 5 years, the plant has only grown in popularity, with hemp products and CBD oil, a non-psychedelic extract, being featured in supermarkets, health boutiques, and pharmacies throughout the state. This expansion was accelerated with the passage of the 2018 Farm Bill, which legalized it on the federal level. Growers are still required to obtain permits from the state agricultural departments and ensure the THC in the plant does not exceed 0.3%. Many states have looked to Colorado's hemp industry as a model, as the plant and products associated with it continue to multiply. But farmers and industry experts worry the state, which also led the country in marijuana legalization, is letting their industrial advantage slip away. In 2018, 52 of Colorado's 64 counties had at least one registered hemp farm, according to the Colorado Department of Agriculture. The number of registrations has nearly quadrupled in 4 years, from 259 in 2014 to 1,075 in 2018, according to the Department of Agriculture. The agency reports 40 registered farmers in La Plata County and 22 in Montezuma County. The bulk of growth has occurred in the past 2 years. In 2016, the Department of Agriculture tracked almost 9,000 acres of registered hemp. That number increased to 12,024 acres in 2017, a growth rate of almost 34%. Colorado accounted for more than half of the country's 2017 production, according to an annual report by the Hemp Industry Daily, an online trade publication. In 2018, the State Department of Agriculture tracked a growth rate of over 157%, as the number of registered acres leapfrogged to over 30,000. Colorado is already set to expand the hemp acreage in 2019. With so many new farmers and a rapid expansion of acreage, some worry this could have a negative impact on the industry. The market is probably going to get saturated, and then it won't be as profitable, said Abdul Barada, a hemp researcher and specialist with Mesa Verde Ag Solutions. There are so many businesses and entrepreneurs jumping in. As farming novices turn to growing hemp, there's going to be a pretty big learning curve, said Danny Fontaine, owner of Colorado Hemp Project, an education and consulting company. Quote, "There's a lot of people who don't know what the expletive they're doing, Fontaine said. Businesses are going to be a little behind the curve and learning the process. Hemp, the genetic cousin of marijuana, minus any psychedelic effects, has more uses than cannabis. In addition to medicinal products, hemp can be processed into hundreds of products, including oil, paper, building materials, rope, fuel, and food. Despite being one of the first states to legalize industrial hemp, Colorado risks losing its advantage to other states. Quote, "Our biggest problem is we don't have a processing plant here," said Perez, who owns his own agricultural consulting company. To take advantage of the wide products available from hemp, like fibers, oil, and wood, the plant must be processed more extensively, Perez said. Barada, who's a retired researcher with the Colorado State University Southwestern Colorado Research Center, echoed Perez's concerns, saying the processing is not there for fiber yet. This has led many farmers to ship their product out because there is no processing plant or infrastructure in the area to take advantage of the full potential of the plant, Perez said. Quote, "I think that's the big challenge. Some of the big processing facilities I've been familiar with have struggled in terms of maintaining their viability," Senator Gardner said. But with the federal legalization of the plant, there's noticeably more confidence from other industries to move forward with hemp, Fontaine said. "We're on our way to partnering with paper mills. We're just starting to expand. Maintaining the expansion through development of new products while minimizing federal regulations will be key to the growth of the hemp industry," Senator Gardner said. Quote, "We need to make sure we're capitalizing on Colorado's advantage in getting a head start before we lose that head start," he said. Barada predicts these new markets will only increase in the next 3 to 4 years, but without a system to process the plants, Southwest Colorado could stand to lose out on the economic benefits. Quote, "Hopefully, there will be more processing plants in the area."
Reported by the Cortez Journal, authorities have arrested a 50-year-old Cortez man on suspicion of first-degree murder in connection with an investigation into a death last week in Ignacio. The La Plata County Sheriff's Office on Monday announced Robert Dean Rose was arrested around 4 p.m. Sunday after being spotted at the Starbucks in downtown Durango. Rose was booked into the La Plata County Jail without bail. The Sheriff's Office on May 13th responded to a home a few miles north of Ignacio in the 400 block of County Road 509 to investigate a deceased person found at the residence. The person was identified as Mark Wayman, age 65. La Plata County Coroner Jan Smith said Wayman died from a gunshot wound. The Sheriff's Office also said Monday the 2005 Dodge Neon that police were looking for has been recovered. Chris Burke, spokesman for the Sheriff's Office, did not have additional information to release when contacted Monday afternoon.
From the Durango Herald, a jury is deciding whether a Durango man accused of sexually assaulting a woman at gunpoint in 2017 is guilty after closing arguments were made Monday morning. The trial for Devin Bond began on May 14th. It is unknown when the jury will come to a decision. Bond is accused of sexually assaulting a woman on the night of October 14th, 2017, with 2 other co-defendants, James Zink and Anthony Fitz. Bond's defense attorneys Brian Showalter and Katie Whitney maintained Monday that Bond had consensual sex with a woman and that her story of what happened that night has not been consistent. Quote, "The woman's story is totally off the rails," Whitney told jurors. "It changes as we go." The woman initially told investigators all 3 men were strangers that gang raped her at gunpoint, Whitney said. But in subsequent interviews with authorities, Whitney said it came to light that the women knew the men and had engaged in consensual sex. Fitz, who had been sentenced to 6 years in prison, was exonerated last week after the woman testified at Bond's trial that the sex between her and Fitz was initially consensual. But Deputy District Attorney Sean Murray said the sex was no longer consensual once Zink threatened the woman with a gun. At this point in the night, authorities say Fitz was no longer in the car. Zink ordered the woman to perform sexual acts or be shot, Murray said. If this was consensual sex, why the gun, he told jurors. Zink, who pleaded guilty, received 14 years in prison and 10 years of probation. Bond told investigators a shotgun was in the car and that Zink racked it, but Bond's attorneys say there was no serious threat of shooting her. Murray, however, said it's clear the woman feared for her life. Quote, "You can't threaten someone with a gun in exchange for sexual acts and claim it was consensual," Murray said. "That doesn't make any sense." Whitney criticized investigators with the Durango Police Department for, quote, "willful ignorance for not thoroughly vetting the woman's account of what happened that evening, calling it a big sensationalized story." Whitney said the woman made the story up to get herself out of trouble. "This is a show, folks," she said. In the prosecution's rebuttal, Deputy District Attorney Jessica Kiles called Whitney's statements a form of victim blaming. Kyle said the woman was traumatized, and as she was more open to talking about the incident, more facts came to light. Kyle said that both the bond and the woman's story lined up on the two most important details of the case. A shotgun was brought out and racked, and that sex continued after Zink threatened her. Consent stopped when that gun came out, Kyle said. She's hoping she doesn't die that night. The 12 jurors went into deliberation around noon on Monday, and as of 5 p.m. yesterday, a verdict was not yet in.
From the Cortez Journal, when it comes to how wildlife adjusts to living in forests ravaged by the beetle outbreak in Colorado, there are winners and losers according to new research. The mountain pine and spruce beetle epidemic has wiped out about 21% of Colorado's 24.4 million acres of forested land since 1996, perhaps the starkest change on the landscape in recorded history. Because the outbreak is relatively new to the landscape, not much study has been done on how species are affected by living in beetle-kill forests. Recently, however, CPW and the U.S. Forest Service partnered to take the first steps to understand how wildlife has responded among the first pieces of work to quantify the consequences of the beetle outbreak to animals. Bark and spruce beetles are native to Colorado, but dense forests and rising global temperatures set the stage to allow them to overrun Colorado's mountains, an event that researchers in the report called unmatched in recorded history. After the summers of 2013 and 2014, about 300 game cameras were placed throughout the state at elevations between 8,500 and 12,000 feet, specifically in lodgepole pine and Engelmann spruce forests affected by beetle kill. The cameras were able to capture more than 336,600 images of 26 mammal species, of which researchers noted habits of 13 species. Ivan said there were no definitive conclusions in the study. Instead, it's the first piece of the puzzle to figure out which animals thrive and which animals struggle in beetle kill habitats. And now let's take a look at the weather.
So our regional hazardous outlook is showing locally heavy snowfall expected to continue across the northern and central Colorado mountains this morning through the early afternoon, with improving conditions by late afternoon. Snow levels will be as low as 6,000 feet in some areas this morning and raised to above 9,000 feet by the afternoon. Isolated to scattered thunderstorms are possible in the afternoon, with snow looking to return to the San Juans tonight. Another system will then move through the area Wednesday evening through Thursday, bringing additional valley rain and mountain snow to the region. There is a chance for showers and thunderstorms through Thursday, with accumulating snow likely for the mountains above that 9,000 feet level. Then a dry southwest flow develops Friday into the weekend, resulting in a warm-up towards near normal temperatures just in time for Memorial Weekend. So back to today, around Dove Creek, expect scattered rain and snow showers before turning to only rain showers with a 60% chance. Mostly cloudy with a high near 52, breezy at 10 to 20 miles an hour with southern winds. And then later tonight, rain showers are likely, which may again switch to scattered rain and snow showers. Cloudy with a low around 35 degrees, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds may gust to 25. Then Wednesday, scattered rain and snow showers in the morning. Then scattered rain showers seems like a repeat of Tuesday. A little lower probability at just 40% chance for rains. Mostly cloudy with a high near 51 degrees. Breezy at 15 to 25 miles an hour with gusts to 35. Then Wednesday night, 50% chance for possible rain showers, switching to rain and snow showers in the early hours of Thursday morning. Cloudy night with a low around 35 degrees, and again the same winds from the south at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Rinse and repeat for Thursday, rain and snow showers likely at 60% from the National Weather Service, becoming all rain in the afternoon. Cloudy with a high near 48 degrees, breezy with those southwest winds continuing at 10 to 20 miles an hour and gusting to 30. Thursday night, the chance for this system to start moving out with just a 20% slight chance for showers and thunderstorms before 9 p.m. and then a slight chance of showers between 9 and midnight, mostly cloudy with a low around 35. And finally, as we move into Friday, mostly sunny will be very much appreciated with a high near 59 degrees. Friday night, mostly clear and a low to 37. Saturday, sunny with a high near 65. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 40. Sunday, sunny with a high near 68. Sunday night, partly cloudy with a low around 40. And that's what we'd like to see for the end of May. Memorial Day, Monday, the 27th, mostly sunny with a high near 61. So now back to our news.
According to the Durango Herald, U.S. health officials say this year's count of measles cases has surpassed 800, a growing tally that is already the nation's highest in 25 years. A total of 839 cases were reported as of last week. That's the most since 1994, when 963 were reported for the entire year. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released the latest numbers Monday. In all, 23 states have reported cases this year. The vast majority of illnesses have been in New York, most of them among unvaccinated people in Orthodox Jewish communities. That pattern continued last week, with most of the 75 new cases coming from New York. Measles was once common in the U.S., but gradually became rare after vaccination campaigns that started in the 1960s.
Reported in the Journal, photo Jim Imiaga. The apple and peach orchards in southwest Colorado are blooming late this year, but the delay helped avoid a frost, owners say. A strong crop is expected thanks to record levels of low elevation snow this winter that recharged soil moisture in the valleys. Quote, a good amount of moisture sunk into the soil, and that kept the soil cooler and the trees dormant longer, so we had one of our latest blooms. It's looking promising, said Jude Schoenemeyer, co-director of the Montezuma Orchard Restoration Project. The project has been working for 10 years to record and restore local apple orchards in an effort to bring back the fruit economy that flourished in the Montezuma Valley during the late 1800s and early 1900s. We could generate $1 million economy with all of the apple orchards here, Schoenemeyer said. 2 local commercial cideries and 2 pilot pressing projects in the past 3 years has generated income for orchard owners. The juice was sold locally and to Front Range cideries. Morp estimates that there are 200 apple orchards in Montezuma, Dolores, and La Plata counties, with an estimated total of 10,000 trees that are over 70 years old. The many heritage varieties are in demand from cideries for their flavor and quality. Last year, a large-scale mobile presser with a pasteurizer produced 3,000 gallons of boxed apple juice named Morp Heritage Blend, a mix of old-fashioned delicious Rome's and Jonathan's. The juice was available at local stores and sold out pretty quick, Schoenemeyer said. It is proof that we can rebuild the orchard economy. Owners are so grateful to see cash for their fruit. The pressing operations have created a fresh market for apple orchard owners too. Instead of letting the apples drop and rot on the ground for the deer, they get paid 20 cents per pound or 10 cents per pound if Morp does the picking. About 10 orchards were harvested last year for the juicing project. More infrastructure is needed to fully jumpstart the orchard economy, including storage facilities. The orchard market is subject to the whims of Mother Nature. In 2017, a late May frost knocked out the entire crop. Last year, trees suffered from a historically dry water year, but the older trees with the deep roots proved resilient. The Morp Heritage Apple Tree Sale and Fundraiser will be held on June 15th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Morp Nursery, which is 17312 County Road G. Gates are open at 9 a.m. for members only. Non-members may purchase trees starting at 11. You can become a member of Morp for your best selection. Trees are $50 and members get a discount. We'll have to see how this week's weather will affect the crop. Hopefully the budding has all been in place and the stage of growth can handle the end of May snows and cold.
According to the Durango Herald, the old slogan, "If you see something, say something," just got a little easier to do for anyone who sees nefarious activities on public lands in southwest Colorado. The Bureau of Land Management's Trace Rios office recently launched a tip line for people to more easily report suspicious activity, vandalism, or any other possible illegal acts on public lands. The previous system for reporting to the BLM was to leave voicemails with the agency's law enforcement, but Faust said rangers are rarely in the office, and as a result, there was some lag time in getting the report. Now people can report suspicious activity through calling the tip line or emailing a specific BLM ranger address, which is automatically sent to law enforcement. So far, Faust said the BLM has received 1 report to the tip line since it was launched about a month ago. On average, the BLM receives a few calls a month from people who report suspicious activity, Faust said, which can include vandalism, trash dumping, or crimes to natural resources. The BLM's tip line is 833-660-5771, and email is trfo tipline@blm.gov. Faust said the tip line is to report suspicious activity, not for use in emergency situations.
Purgatory will be open this weekend. This from the Journal with a courtesy photo. Purgatory Resort plans to open Saturday and Sunday for skiing to allow powder hounds to enjoy the fresh snow the area is expected to receive through Thursday this week. Snow is expected to be followed by sunny skies Saturday, according to the National Weather Service. I think it's going to put us in a great position for a final bonus weekend, said Stacy Glazer, spokeswoman for the resort. It will be the first time in history Purgatory has opened for skiing on the last weekend in May, according to a news release from the resort. The 2 additional days of skiing will cap off what already was the resort's longest winter season in history. The resort closed for skiing on May 4th. Closing day had a fantastic turnout, and Glazer said she hoped that the bonus days of skiing would draw a similar number of skiers and snowboarders, but it was tough to know. This is totally uncharted territory, she said. Less than a dozen ski areas will be open in the U.S. this weekend. Purgatory is the southernmost resort, according to that news release. The resort expects to open Lift 1 from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, with access to Lower Mercy, What, West Fork, Sass Psych, El Diablo, Demon, and Pitchfork Terrain Park. The resort will also host a finish to the Iron Horse Bicycle Classics quarter horse race and open some of its summer activities on Saturday. Summer activities will include the Inferno Mountain Coaster, the zip line, bungee trampoline, ropes course, scenic chairlift rides, treasure panning, gyro chair, and the bounce house. The resort's bike park remains closed, Glazer said. U.S. Highway 550 northbound will be open Saturday morning, but drivers should expect delays between 7 and 10 a.m. because of the Iron Horse, Glazer said. For more information about traffic, visit ironhorsebicycleclassic.com. Purgatory will accept 2018-19 and 2019-20 season passes for skiing and snowboarding. Summer passes will be accepted for both summer and winter activities, and discounted lift tickets will also be on sale.
From the Durango Herald, engineering a marshmallow shooting turret that is controlled by a cell phone or an autonomous remote-controlled car, or recreating the giant pendulum from Edgar Allan Poe's story The Pit and the Pendulum to mathematically determine the protagonist's fate, these are not the projects of the average American high school curriculum. On Thursday, Animas High School students demonstrated that through the freedom provided by their project-based curriculum, they can take their education to new heights. Students showcased their semester-long and in some cases year-long efforts at the all-school exhibition. Rooms of the school overflowed into the halls with projects, each creatively presented through myriad diverse mediums, from a micro-museum representing the oral history of the Animas Valley to creating optical illusions for understanding the biology of optics, to a board game teaching natural selection. Kurt Patterson's advanced engineering class, made up of seniors Cole Elliott and Evan Roth, and sophomores Taylor Shermer and Kian Edmondson, studied the phenomenon called the wagon wheel effect and applied it to a project called Operation Flowing Water. They fabricated a machine that to create an optical illusion of water droplets defying gravity. The effect was created by flashing strobe LED lights through a steady stream of dripping water, effectively giving the appearance of water dripping upward, Elliott said. Students had to essentially fabricate the machine from scratch, even the control circuit, which took about 6 months to complete, Patterson said. Each of his students worked together and completed their projects in correlation with what is relevant to the individual academic journey. Animas High School's senior exhibition, to be held Tuesday, will feature exhibitions about such as a drone designed for disaster relief, a ski-inspired clothing brand, and a humanitarian effort to bring musical instruments to a third world classroom.
Today's High Canyon Country happenings, Thursday, May 23rd, starting at 11 a.m., go meet the puppies of Denkai at the puppy adoption event at the thrift store and Pet Adoptions in Cortez. They'll have 2 litters available for adoption at the store. The adoption fee is $300. That includes spay, neutering, vaccinations, microchip, and registration, warming, and being fully vetted. May 25th, the Deer, a group from Texas, will be playing at the Dolores River Brewery from 8 to 11 p.m. The Deer bring their psychotropic dream folk to town, or as they are listed on their Facebook page, Transcendental Texas Texas folk and psychotropic surf western. Generally, it's light indie folk, and they have received several awards. Find out more about them on their website, thedeermusic.com. Or May 25th in Cortez, Eco Print Scarf Workshop runs from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. The instruction and tuition is $135. The instructor is Roy Cady. Eco printing is a method of dyeing using natural dye extracts and leaves or other botanicals where you actually see the leaf prints on your scarf. In this introductory workshop, you will learn 3 different techniques of eco printing on silk scarves. You'll learn about the different tannins and iron solutions, how to use multiple blankets for a modern and geometric print, a new and eco-friendly bundling method that doesn't use string, how to shift the pH to create pleasing effects, and how to mix and use natural dye extracts to enhance prints without pre-mordanting. You will go home with 3 different samples, extract formulas for tannins and iron solutions, and methods for continuing to dye beautiful scarves. All materials will be provided with a material fee of $40 to be paid to the instructor. It will be held at the Southwest Farm to Yarn Collective. All of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, please contact us. Email dcbnnews@gmail.com, or you can call 970-677-4119.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs at noon Monday through Thursday and then is available online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page on demand.
Be sure to like us there on Facebook and join in on the news of our area, and of course, please share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook with DCTV and the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.